Hi, everyone. Chris Crosby here. Welcome back to For Starters. Today, we're going to talk about ecosystem-led growth. So, a key focus for us in 2025 is unlocking exponential potential. And I believe we do that by connecting systems, ideas, and people in new ways that amplify value creation for customers in the market beyond the typical linear way of accomplishing that. So as an example of that, I think that there's certain levers of growth that we can pull or that companies or startups can leverage that are non-traditional or that create friction. I think growth comes out of heat in the kitchen, out of friction. And one of those areas tends to be partnerships. And when you look at the traditional way of building partnerships or ecosystems, in any market or industry, it tends to either be a hub and spoke model or a spoke and hub model. So what happens is you end up with these centralized platforms, call it a CCaaS, call it NICE or Five9 or Genesys or Zoom or any of them, and they build out this application marketplace. So you've got all these tiny little applications, and products doing specific things that integrate into that core platform. The problem with that model is that those applications or the siloed products are just creating new silos. They tend to not be integrated together. And so now your customer, whoever you're going to sell to, not only has to integrate the core platform and your platform, but now if they're using other systems in that ecosystem, now they're trying to integrate all that back together, which is a mess. The other way, and you tend to compete for budgets that way too, by the way. The other way of doing partner-led growth is by being, bringing in the spokes of data. So having a bunch of data connectors. So the new thing with AI is everybody has 100 or 200 or 300 data connectors. And they're trying to bring all that into their platform, and then they're trying to become the central orchestration layer. The reason that's not working is because data connectors, everybody's using the same kind of open source stuff under the hood, by the way, and they tend to just be dumb pipes. And again, you're creating another silo, another island that your customers have to think about budgets, integration, support, maintenance, rollout, all of that. Whereas with true ecosystem-led growth, it is more an interconnected system of complementary applications that maybe have some overlap. Maybe there's competitive areas that you wouldn't naturally partner with somebody. But when you bring your two products together into the space in a symbiotic way, you can create new value. You can create new systems. You can create new flow. As an example, Endeavor CX, in our company, our portfolio, very focused on generative insights and analytics. We're connecting to all the CCaaS players, all the CX vendors. So we're using that, spoke and hub model. We're pulling everything in, or we'll be in their application marketplace. But the real value comes from when we can partner with other folks in that ecosystem. So as an example, we could easily compete with companies that just do automated quality assurance. Could we do it as well as them? Maybe. We could compete with folks that just do coaching or just do CSAT or just do any of these little things. Or we can partner with folks where maybe there's overlap, and we could do a lot of those things. But maybe their coaching tool or their quality tool or their whatever tool is better and serves a different niche than we do. And so now if we can partner with them and say, let's bring these two together in a very integrated way, where we're moving data back and forth. What we're finding is that composite value is so much more compelling to a customer that they're not looking at competitors anymore. They're not looking at, they don't want to stand alone QA. They don't want to stand alone CCaaS. They don't want to stand alone anything. They want outcomes, and they want lower overhead, and they want easier deployments without having to take on the burden of integration themselves. And so by going to market together, you unlock multiple and new opportunities for each other. And then what we're also finding is that the customers that are the joint customers are finding new ways to combine your products and integrate it back into the enterprise. And so now the whole analogy or moniker of 1 + 1 = 3 actually starts to become true, because you're no longer competing inside of your customer base or the market for individual mind share around distinctive siloed applications. You're coming to your customers with solutions that amplify the value. And so while there may be friction in some of those opportunities because everybody's jockeying for who wants to be the lead AI partner. The end result is when you can solve for your customer base better than anybody else, that's where growth comes from.